It is extremely important to know what it is that you want out of life. If you don't know what it is that you want out of everything, then you might end up in the middle of nowhere. You have to know what you want out of life because it is going to put you in the best possible position to get the thing that you want. You have to be good at knowing what you want. You see, a lot of people have a vague, fuzzy idea of what it is that they want. And then they wonder why they have vague, fuzzy achievements. You have to be specific and descriptive about what you want out of life, because that puts you in the best position to get that very specific thing rather than some random result. Ask yourself this question, and this is a tough question, so it can take a while for you to find the answer. Where do you want to be 5 years from now if you had no chance of failure? If you knew that you would be successful with 0% of failure, where would you want to be 1 year from now? How about 6 months from now? Paint the picture, visualize a vision of where you would want to be in the future. Because doing this exercise, it is going to be incredibly helpful in figuring out who you are as a person and giving yourself insights about the values that you want in your existence. It is also going to put forth certain psychological forces that are very powerful in getting you to your destination. You want to remind yourself of your vision once you have it, once you figured it out, on a daily basis in order to stay focused. What you should say is, I am going to X. I am going to make $4,000 a month by X date. Whatever your vision is, say it in a future tense of what it is that you're going to accomplish. It's important that you remind yourself of this vision frequently because this is what is going to help you stay focused. Write it down every morning and say it out loud. Now, I know that might sound cheesy. You need to take a leap of faith that this exercise that you're going to do every morning is just as important as a physical exercise. It is a psychological exercise that is going to give you a laser type focus on your vision. It will keep you laser focused so you're not distracted. It's incredibly easy to be distracted in the world that we live in. We have advertisers making billions of dollars from the ability to distract you into their world and get you to consume their media products or physical products. Advertisers spend millions of dollars in researching how to distract you. We live in a world that it's very easy to get distracted on random things that are taking away your focus from your goals. If you think of your email inbox, that might as well be called other people's agenda for you. a good rule to follow is during your day, you should be primarily focused on your primary objectives. What it is that you want to accomplish that day, do that first. Do the most important things first. Prioritize. And then if there is leftover time, then you can work on other stuff that's not as important, including doing favors for other people, or whatever it is that you deem it's a low priority task. Do the most important things first. Start your day by tackling your most important goal. If you have to eat a frog, then eat the frog the first thing that you do in a day. So that way you don't have to dread the action later on for the rest of your day. So again, you have to remind yourself of your vision every single morning. You write it down, you verbalize it, because that's what's going to give you that laser type focus and allow you to not be distracted, even though advertisers are spending millions. By having that laser type focus, you're going to ensure that your behaviors are aligned towards achieving that vision throughout the day. There's a book called The Secret, which is about this concept that if you can simply visualize your vision in your mind's eye, meaning that you can see clearly in your mind the positive outcome that you want to achieve, then you put forth certain forces in the universe that push you to achieve that desired positive outcome. This is very true in a psychological perspective. The brain is a goal-seeking mechanism. You have to feed it positive outcomes that you want to accomplish by visualizing them clearly in your mind's eye. And then your brain will go out of its way to help you get those things into a reality. Your brain is always operating in the background, bringing forth certain thoughts and behaviors automatically. If you program your brain by feeding it the vision that you want frequently, it is going to help you achieve that vision in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Once you have a vision of where you want to be in the future, something to strive for, then break it down into key milestones. So you know where you want to be in the future, and you should know the major key milestones that it's going to take for you to get to that vision. Break down your vision into monthly and weekly objectives. Most importantly, you should know every single day what are the top 3 goals of the day for you to achieve. Now, I am giving you the number 3 because realistically speaking, you only have a finite amount of energy every single day. So you want to put that finite energy to the 3 most important goals for you to achieve first, before you go on and do other less important things. Figure out the 3 most important goals for you to achieve every single day, and then attack them. The most important skill that a man can develop for himself is the ability to identify and set goals, and then execute actions to achieve those goals until these goals are completed. He can put forth a certain positive outcome that he wants to achieve for that day, and then take action to achieve it, and he achieves it. This cycle of setting goals and accomplishing them is extremely important to be really good at. That's what makes you a reliable and responsible individual. That is what makes you the kind of person that can handle anything, because you know that all you need to do is just think things into existence. You think it, you set the goal, you achieve it, and then you set more goals, and if the cycle continues, you become an unstoppable force. There is a specific pattern that happens with successful people. Now, I'm going to give you the pattern of ultra successful people so that way you can model this pattern for yourself and become ultra successful. The first phase is reviewing your goals for the day. As soon as you wake up, review what it is that you need to accomplish for that day. Say it out loud. By reviewing your goals, you are going to ensure that you stay laser focused on them and you don't get distracted by random things along the way, whether it's some kind of phone call about someone else's personal drama, they're trying to suck you into it, whether it's some random YouTube videos or some random thing that tries to take your attention, you don't get distracted. Phase number 2 is once you've identified your goals for the day, then you take massive, radical action to achieve those goals that you've identified. This means that you go out of your way and metaphorically kill the goals. You fight with everything that you've got, full force, hold nothing back, like a charging bull. You savagely attack those goals with everything that you've got, full force, you hold nothing back. You do whatever it takes to achieve the goals that you've set for that day. You fight like a madman, like a killer, and you get the goals done no matter what. After many hours of action taken, you end that session and you move on to phase 3. In phase 3, you start thinking about the day's experience. Think, what can I learn from this experience of massive action taking for many hours that will help me in the future? So you could break that down into several categories. Category number 1 is, what did I do today that didn't give me results, so probably it's not worth doing in the future. Category number 2, what did I do today that gave me negative results, so I will for sure not continue to do that behavior in the future. And category number 3 is, what did I do that gave me some pretty good results, which is why I should double down and do more of what is already working. You can also think about different lessons that you've learned about the niche that you're in, whatever it is that you are doing. Think about insights that you've learned about the reality of the situation and insights that you've learned about yourself. When you have a good understanding of the map that you're in, then you are in a good situation to think of strategies, tactics, and game plans to achieve the maximum results in the thing that you are trying to accomplish. After you spent time in reflection, you're going to move on to phase number 4, which is setting goals for the next day. You ideally want to set the goals for the next day ahead of time, so that way when you wake up tomorrow, you'll be able to start your day strong, immediately taking action. You won't have to go through a lengthy phase of trying to figure out what it is that you have to do for that day, but rather you can start the day already taking action. So figure out the goals for the next day today. Identify these goals and prioritize. As I mentioned earlier, at any given moment, there are lots of things you can do to benefit your life and achieve results. You can't do them all. So you have to prioritize based on which are the highest ROI, which are going to give you the greatest results, which are most likely to achieve massive results. Record them in your accountability journal. Finally, the last phase of the day is researching from the top resources. You have to be a person who is a lifelong learner. You're always seeking to get to the next level, always trying to gain more knowledge, internalize winning mindsets on a deeper level, gain a greater perspective of yourself and what you need to do to be the very best. Fortunately for you, this program is the #1 resource in self-development of all time. It will give you a powerful foundation that you're going to use for the rest of your life. That's why it's so paramount that you properly go through the program, internalize the key mindsets, take good notes, review the good notes daily, really integrate the ideas into your life by looking for ways where you can apply them. It's when you take what you know in theory and apply it into real world situations consciously over a long period of time that skill is developed. You want to get to the level where when a situation arises, you immediately take action in a skilled way. You don't live in reaction mode where you're constantly reacting as a victim, but rather you live in proactive mode where you're identifying goals, killing them. You don't stop until you succeed. You create opportunities instead of waiting for opportunities to come to you. Learning is something that never really ends. Now, as I said, this program will give you the foundational knowledge, which is why you should focus on this program first and foremost. Now, does that mean that after you're done with this program, you stop learning entirely? Absolutely not. You should continue to research self-development. Just don't go overboard. But first and foremost, priority is to take action.